Well, welcome back, guys. The snow is finally gone, and I can actually see the ground and not worry about getting caught in a storm that comes out of nowhere with how fast the wind is up here in the mountains. So I found another spot here in the zone, I suppose, and this looks like it's a little bit traveled, I would say, but it doesn't look like there's really been anybody here in several years. You can tell that quads came through at some point, but it's quite overgrown, and there's logs that have been over the trail, it looks like, for years, and no one's cut through them, so safe to say I'm the only one who's been here in quite a while. This area is kind of cool because it's a logged, clear-cut area, and there's a few little cabins just like this one that would have enough room for one, maybe two people to sleep in that are scattered throughout the woods here. I found a couple others in another area nearby, but that's not the coolest stuff out here, so I'm not going to be scrambling through the bush to get a bunch more on camera. Just up, and up from here, and I'll check in at the next spot. So a little further up the trail here, we've got the mining road that connects the last spot I did a video of to where we're going today. So this runs for a couple kilometers here. If there was a road here by where things are growing, they're growing in the middle. But as you go further in, there's full-on trees that have grown through the road, so it's safe to say it's been a while since there's been a vehicle through here. Shot of myself going across, but it's pretty fucking slippery and I don't want to do it twice, so I'm just going to take the camera with me.
One creek crossing later.
That sucked. I had to follow the creek, or the creek. I had to follow it a couple hundred meters down and then climb up afterwards. It's a lot of extra work, but I'm on the other side and on the other side, and I'm on the road again. The path here is pretty clear of debris because it doesn't get a lot of sun, which is nice. And there's a couple of bits of runoff actually that have washed out parts of the road, like you saw before. And I really did want to get footage of me crossing that. But holy shit, that sucked. I'm still out of breath. I'm not doing that again. This is a little bit more my speed. Contraption here looks like it's a path for crossing that creek. That was a little bit more my speed, but I imagine as the runoff accumulates more, that it's going to wash that out completely, and I might have a hard time coming back later in the summer. But for now, it's still traversable. Further up along the road here, it's still fairly overgrown, and it gets worse going up But interestingly, there's a little divot here that opens into a clearing down over there. And let's go check that out. It's interesting. There's a sort of a paddock setup, which is bizarre. Closer look here. Oh yeah, look at that. A little trough in case you're hungry for some moss. I don't think anyone's been here in a while. Although this is interesting. That these steaks, those are treated. That's newer, so I wonder. This is really bizarre. I've got no idea what this is. I can only guess. There's sheet metal all over. And a barrel. Looks like someone shot a couple holes in it. Hands, buckets. Very interesting indeed. Now I can't quite tell what this is supposed to be. It looks like it was some sort of shed that collapsed. Broken bottles, and in the barn barrel there was a melted spoon, but otherwise nothing to really give away what this place should have been, or used to be, or if many people have been here since. Finally a nice clearing. Whew. A lot more brush out here this time of year. It's if you don't know where the path is, it could be pretty easy to lose it. convey it better, but the smell out here is amazing. You can smell all these fresh, delicious, well, maybe not for me, but for birds, berries. There's thimbleberries out here that you can eat. There's raspberries, blueberries. It's really, really always nice coming up here because there's always free snacks. Now, I don't know how well the camera's going to make that out, but there's the problem with having free treats. Lots of wildlife out here. Actually, I was out in this area just the other day, and I packed up and was leaving. Got in my car, drove maybe 20 feet, and there was a grizzly bear standing up at the side of the road, probably 10 or 11 feet tall. It was huge. So, everybody who's watching this before, I don't carry a gun for the LARP. I carry it because there's things out here that would like to make me into a meal. Another beautiful clearing up ahead here. I mean, doesn't get much better than that. What I love about these clearings, since I'm a little bit above the trees below me, I can look in the distance. So over there, those are clear cuts for forestry. And stuff like that. That's what's interesting, is that could just be a rock face. Very well could be, but it could be something interesting and worth taking a look at. And that's how I found the spot we're going to today, actually. Is seeing a bit of a clearing, getting some advice from a couple of sources, and then actually, if you guys are into exploring in the woods, make sure it's public property first. Everything out here is owned by the Canadian public, so I'm totally good to go out here and explore. So make sure you're not going on private property, and then once you're sure of that, Google Earth is your friend, actually. Use some satellite imagery, and you can also rewind it. I think as far back as 2006, and if you do that, you can often see parts of the site that have been lost to time, and it's a little easier to see them, despite the worse image quality the further back you go. So I'd recommend that's something you want to get into. Last about 100 years, so it has been very wet, and I'm not accustomed to the sunshine like this, so I'm sweating up a storm. Although, I gotta say, since my last stalker video, I've really been working on some better physical fitness, and I am not suffering nearly as bad as I did last time, or as bad as I thought I would. This is, you know, who would have thunk a little bit of exercise makes physical labor a little easier.